So another neat thing that we can do in Rest Assured is adding in request spec builders and response spec builders. So what these will do is that if you've got code that's being executed for all of your tests, for example, you have headers or authentication or something that needs to be executed with every test, you can add that into a builder, and then you don't need to specify it in the actual test class. You only need to specify it in the setup. So in the next lecture, we're going to look at adding in a request spec builder, and in the next lecture, we'll add in a response spec builder. So to add in a request spec builder, I've already added in the two imports here, you can see. So you need these two imports, the request spec builder and request specification, and then we simply put in request specification. We'll call it request specification, and then that creates a new request spec builder. Okay, now all that we're going to do is we're going to add in a couple of headers that we want to use in all of our calls. So if you remember, in our calls so far, the response that we've been getting back has only been in XML. If we want to get the response back in JSON, we need to add in an accept JSON header. So let's add in the accept header and also add in the content type header as well to make it into JSON. So we'll just add header, and then we'll call this one content type, and we'll call it application/JSON. So that's added in that header now. We'll add in one more, and we'll add in just the accept header as well. Again, we'll make that application/JSON. Now you can add in lots of other stuff, like I said, to the request spec builder. You can add in stuff like cookies or form params or queries or authentication, lots and lots of different bits. I'm just showing you this example just so that you'll know that request spec is aware. For whatever you need to add, you can just find it in the documentation or going through the methods here. So now that we've added in our two headers, we just need to add in build. So this will build the request spec. One more thing that we need to add is that we need to set Rest Assured to use this request specification. So if we don't set this here, we otherwise have to set it in each one of our tests. You could set it ad hoc if you prefer to do that, but if you know you're going to execute it for all of your tests, it's easier to just add it in here at this point. So this is just setting the option for the request specification, and then we set it to the request specification that's up above. So now with that in place, we shouldn't need to make any changes to our tests. This test should actually pick up these new headers. So let's see if it actually works. Let's run our test. So we expect to see logs for the request and the response here as well. So let's see what we get back. And we can see, if we look in the logs, we can see that we're putting in these headers now. So it's accepting these two headers, the headers for content type as an accept. And we can see our response is now coming back as JSON instead of XML. So that's request specification. Next time we'll go over response specification. See you next time.